Good evening, knitters. How are you? I'm really well. I'm really well today. Yes. As you can see, the name of this podcast is Recreational Knitting. It's my little spot of earth in the Ethernet that I discuss my knitting and show you what I've done this week, what I haven't done this week, and all the yarny things. My name is Karen. You can find me on Instagram as Recreational Knitting Podcast and on Ravelry as Sampler Gal. I just want to thank you so very much for your comments, your questions, your interest in this podcast. We're up to like 280 something, and I'm like blown away. I could never have imagined that 280 people would be interested in what I knit and what I have to say. I'm floored. Thanks. I can't thank you enough. If you enjoy this podcast, if you're new, please like and subscribe and comment. It really does help get the word out there for a different type of podcast, one that involves me living in an RV and knitting my way through the United States. As you can see behind me, I've got some water. Trying to get a sunset eventually. It's currently about 9 o'clock, and we are currently in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, in the town of, and I'm going to mess this up, Musling. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's a lovely little town right on Lake Superior. The landmass that you see behind you is Grand Isle, and this is a town camping park, and it's next to Painted Rocks National Lakeshore, which we're going to find out what really is all about tomorrow. We have a boat tour tomorrow, which I'll be taking some footage of. It's lovely so far. I mean, we've gone to about 3 or 4 different hi there. We've gone through 3 or 4 different waterfalls today, and if I can, I'll get some footage in. I don't want to make this too long because I have quite a few things I want to show you. So, finished objects. Nothing huge this week, which is okay. We do a lot of car when we're traveling like this. And park into a national park. We do a little side trips here and there to see what's around in the area. And one of the finished objects is just a little dishcloth. Put a little loop on it. Nothing spectacular. This is car knitting, and it's fun to do. One of the other things that I don't know if it's finished or not, but I'm going to show you what I've been doing. I've been doing these little flags that I'll be putting outside our RV when I decide if it's finished or not. It's just something that I decided to do basically for Pride Month. I think I'm going to put it in the front of our RV and with some magnets, and we'll see what happens. Don't know that it's finished. I have 2 more here that I haven't sewn on yet. Trying to use up some scraps. So this is again car knitting, really fun to do. This is all DK Sport worsted weight scraps that I've had left over and just used what I could. Start with one stitch, turn, knit front and back, knit the second stitch, and keep doing that until you have the size of triangle that you'd like. I think mine ended up 37 stitches. Anyway, it's just kind of a fun way to use some scraps, and I'll be putting that somewhere on the RV. So, and I'll show you when I decide where it's going to go. We have an awning that comes out, but we don't always use that unless we're staying quite a bit, and then when it rolls back up, then I have to take these down. So, not sure where they're going yet. Acquisition. Didn't get to go to a yarn shop, but I did get to go to a thrift store. We cleaned out some of our stuff. I gave some shoes, tennis shoes, that I decided that I really needed to get rid of, and a couple dresses. Why did I bring dresses? I don't know, but so we cleaned out. We took a few bags to Goodwill, Goodwill, and actually I found a little bargain here. I don't know whether you can see this. This is Clio Egyptian cotton, and there's 3. It looks like pretty full balls, and I got them. This says $2.46, but they were half price, so whatever that is, $1.23. So 3 balls of cotton, and this is really nice cotton. So not sure what I'll do with it, but likely I've made the yarn boobs in the past, and this is a really nice soft yarn for that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Apple Yarns years ago started where knitters could make a prosthetic for mastectomy survivors, and this would be a great skin color to use. So that's probably what it'll go to. I've made a few of those in the past and sent them, I believe it was Apple Yarns, and I think they're in Washington State. So that's probably what that'll go for. But that's my only acquisition this week. It's okay. I'm all right with it. But what we are going to do today is do Shawls part two. I think I even might have a part 3 for you at some point. Remember those little things that I told you that I had made, many of them? Well, I found 3 more. So here's one. This was made out of Malabrigo, and I don't know what color it is. I have no idea, but it's beautiful, and one of my little triangles looks to be made out of it as well. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my made-up Raglan pattern, which is made out of Swan's Island sport weight yarn in the ochre color. And if you didn't see this last week, I was running out of yarn, and since I had this stripe that I ran across the top before I split for the sleeves, I thought, well, let's do a little of this around the elbow. Okay, so that's what I did. I did 9 rows, and then when we had the Texas school shooting, I made sure that each child had a row and the 2 teachers had a row. So I'm finishing it and wearing it. It's 48 degrees here in this little town on Lake Superior, and it's working out just fine. I knew that if I got it finished, I'd wear it up here. The locals say this is unusual, but I don't know. It's working out. So there's one. Here's another one. And these have been folded up in a bin that's in our basement. So we have a basement storage, and these have been folded up in it. This is an acrylic wool blend. This is, I believe, haiku yarn. I could be mistaken, but it's lovely to work with. This one is a Patton's yarn that I found at a thrift shop somewhere in, I want to say, Utah. I could be wrong, probably am, but anyway, this is my color. I love this color, and I thought I had given this to one of my kids, but apparently I did not. So anyway, so there's 3 more of those. And now here we go with the shawls. Are you ready? This is one of the earlier shawls that I made. It's made out of Malabrigo. I don't know. I think it's called Irish pink roses, English roses. It's a 1 skein project. I typically wear these, you know, similar to that. Yeah, the girls next to me they're having a girls' weekend, and they're drinking, and they're going to go kayaking now. So this might be fun if you keep watching in the background. So there's one. This is one of my favorites because it's navy blue and it goes with everything. And whether you can see it, the light, the sun, how dare it be out. This is Swan's Island. This is fingering weight, and I don't know what this is called, but what they do a technique. Many of you dyers out there, I'm sure, know what this is. But when you put the yarn around your skein of yarn to dye it, that's what makes these little white dots, is the dye doesn't get to those parts of the yarn. I'm not a dyer, not sure how all that works, but I think that would have to be very tight to not get dyed. But don't care, love it. It's again it's a 2 skein. It's a 2 skeiner. So, you know, just very simple. It feels very good. It's extremely soft. Again, this is USA produced, made, dyed, all of the US things. So, how's our sunset? We're not getting there anytime quick. This is made out of a Plymouth yarn. It's a very long shape, crescent shape. I don't know what the pattern is. This is worsted weight yarn. I wear this a lot when it's cold. It's to those of you that find wool scratchy, this might not work for you. I think it has some alpaca in it. I'm not real certain. I've lost the tag. It's been a couple years since I knit this. Again, all of these shawls I've knit, scarves, knit since we left Florida in 2019 in December. This is one of my favorites. I got this yarn in Taos, New Mexico, and it's beautiful. And it's Martina Bem hitchhiker. So this is just lovely. I love the pattern. I've made probably 4 or 5 of these over the years, but this is special because this was Tanis, and it was dyed by a local dyer, and it reminds me of the mountains around Santa Fe. It's just really a beautiful place. The next one is an Andrea Mallory pattern. I can't remember. I think it's called The Gathering. I'm terrible with names. We'd all be better off if we were numbered. But I don't know what this yarn is exactly. But I think it's The Gathering, if anybody has done that. It's definitely by Andrea Mallory. And it's a big one. I believe this is an Ella Ray Merino. I don't know what this is. I've picked it up somewhere and cannot recall. The next one I have to show you is it was a kit that I bought, and it's a Tammy Gore, who's a wonderful designer. I've done a couple of her shawls. I think another one's in here too. And this was a kit, and this kit, so terrible with names. She is a dyer, a black dyer from the Boston area. And we have short rows in this. And it's huge. And I loved making this. This is, I wish I could remember her name. She's very active in the BIPOC yarn community. Anyway, I'll put it down here. This is like a roving, and it's just beautiful yarn. It was very easy to work with, and it was dyed specifically for this shawl for Tammy Gore. So it was really kind of fun. I actually have the tag for this yarn. This is Blue Heron Yarns, and it's deep water, and it's all rayon metallic, and it's 550 yards. I used almost all of it. And whether you can see this well or not, with the metallic in there. I bought this in New Orleans, French Quarter. Does it say New Orleans or what? Come on. It doesn't do it justice, so I'm going to wad it up. Isn't that beautiful? Simply gorgeous. And I actually had the tag. Can you believe that? This is a shawl that I made from Mountain Meadow wool in Buffalo, Wyoming. This too is all American wool. They actually tell you what ranch the wool is from when you get the skein. We went to visit this summer. Last summer. And this is what I bought. Upside down. Definitely a red, white, and blue kind of thing. Made mistakes like you wouldn't believe right here with this. I don't know what I did, but I didn't do it right. But you know what? It's a design feature. But this is definitely a red, white, and blue kind of. And you can wear it however you want. But it looks quite nice, and I wear this a lot, with a pair of jeans When we're sitting out here tonight, I'll probably wear this because it's wool. It's a Rambouillet and Cornmeal mix. I believe it's Cornmeal. But it's wonderful yarn. If you've not tried it, not sponsored by it, I wish I would be. Hello, come on, send me a yarn or two. It's beautiful yarn, absolutely gorgeous. If I had to pick one yarn to work with the rest of my life, it would be Meadow Mountain Wool out of Buffalo, Wyoming. And I'll put that in the show notes too, if the brain remembers. Put that in the show notes. That helps with the sun, doesn't it? I'm trying to get you a sunset here on Lake Superior. Maybe I started too early. I thought it would certainly be down. This, I think I've shown to you before in the early days of this crazy podcast. This is Quinstici, I think, by Casapinka. This was a yarn that has some cashmere in it. It was gifted to me. I'm not a true yellow person. I'm a gold mustard gal. But this is a really nice, and this is Dirty Panther by, not the, by the Madeline Tosh. So, and the next one that I have, I actually wore today. This is a Malabrigo Rios, not sure. It's the one that's, I can never keep them all straight. It is a worstedy, almost DK weight. It's really a black. Let's see if I can wad it up here. It's really a black, even though it's showing gray. And I put a couple of the pearl bumps in there that are colored just to brighten things up. And this is a pattern that I use quite a bit. I don't know what it's called, and I improvise as I go along, but it's quite lovely and it's very warm. And I wore it today when we went to all the very cold waterfalls. Are you seeing my breath yet? There it is. It's really cold out here. I am drinking my hot tea, but it's not hot any longer. 48 degrees. 2 more, then we're done. This is yarn that I purchased in the Olympic, I always get it wrong, Olympic National Park region. I think I got it in Port Angeles in a beautiful little yarn shop. It's the first yarn shop after things got much better with COVID, even though they still required masks and all of that. And because the Pacific Northwest is so gray, I thought that this was a really lovely yarn. It has gray, black, but there's a pop of like aubergine in there. You see it in there? It's beautiful. It was a local dyer. Again, there's my breath. Little lace work. I can't remember the name, but I call it my Pacific Northwest shawl. The last one. This was made by a kit, from a kit that I bought through Loops, which is now Knit Stars. And this is wool and bamboo yarn, and the shawl itself is designed by Tammy Gore. Another one that I made, but a different pattern. Again, I cannot remember the name of, but if you go to Tammy Gore's page, let me get this right side. This is a great summer shawl, and that's really kind of what I wanted. Wanted a couple. And this is what the actual yarn looks like. It's a light blue and a light tan. And the shawl has the old holes in it. You know how it goes. And it's lovely. And it has this very unique ribbing, which I found to be lovely to finish off a shawl. And I said, I think I'm going to do that more often with a shawl. It really gives it a nice finished look. I like I-cord finishes as well. Now, of course, I like lace finishes, but this was something that was totally new to me, and I really enjoyed it. Thought that was a drop stitch. No. Wouldn't be the first time. So that's it for my shawls. I'm not sure that you're going to get the whole sunset here, but I'm going to move out of the picture